What the hell was that?
Hello. I like the way Ophelia does it on her on He Said, She Said. She's all, hello.
Ophelia does it?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hello.
So, how's everyone? How's it been? How's everyone doing?
I'm doing
what's
great.
Up? You're doing great?
Great.
Oh, you weren't here last week. Why?
Sorry.
I've been trying to get it out of you all night long. She did something.
I'll tell you at the end of the show.
I'm sure it involves a ball gag and...
No, it was not sexual.
No.
It was not sexual. I wish it was. I didn't want to talk about it. Don't make it about me today.
Okay. Just a little hint?
No.
Okay. How you been doing, Anna? Welcome back.
Thank you. I've been doing great. Great things have been happening.
Oh my
How's
God.
your son doing?
I know. You had a whole thing, shitload of stuff about Joaquin, so...
Yeah.
But we'll leave you alone this time. We think.
Just good things, good things. His team, Sarah, went to the CIF playoffs, which is a big deal because it was their first time. They lost, but that's okay.
Accomplishment is getting recognized to go.
Aww. I'm so happy that my hometown team, the Spurs, they did it. They took it for the 5th championship in the NBA.
And basketball.
They did. They took it. And you know what I don't get, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go there, but there was nothing on the national news today about it. There's nothing on MSNBC, and I'm like, what's the problem? Is it because we're from Texas and we're Mexican from Texas, and that's a big
Texas
demographic down there?
Nobody gives a shit about
right now.
basketball. No, Texas isn't liked right now. So
Yeah,
that's
Texas.
your problem.
Texas isn't really liked. However, the Spurs did win. They did kick some ass out of the Heat, and it was awesome. Awesome series. Woohoo! So random topic. Let's just go into this one this week. And Iraq. What do you guys think about what's going on in Iraq? For those who don't know, the president is sending, I guess, 250 troops in to secure the embassy in Baghdad, which is apparently about to come under attack from ISIS, the Islamic militant group. And we have a carrier, the George H.W. Bush, that has been put into place out there in the Persian Gulf.
So they can do airstrikes.
So what do you think? What do you think's going on?
Get the hell out of Iraq.
Get the hell out of Iraq, yeah.
Get out. Shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Nope. Somebody else's choice to do that shit. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because if they want help, they can ask for it.
They've been having wars there for
Thousands
of years. Just let them figure it out. Let them make their own government. We have no business there.
But there are some who say that if we do that, there's going to become safe places for really bad jihadists or terrorists to take root like they did in Afghanistan before they attacked us on September 11th.
They're still there.
And that's true. They didn't have this place to reside in the first place had we not gone in there and did what we did in the search of weapons of mass destruction, which never existed.
So they say.
So, no, it's all proven. We had no reason to go to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction.
We went to Iraq for one reason.
Oh, oil. It had to be oil. Money and
it
oil.
wasn't oil.
It was oil.
Because the price of gas would go up because we were getting oil from them.
Yeah.
But of course, that attack that they did.
What attack?
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. They went in there to
Because of
check
him.
to see, because supposedly he had, nuclear bombs, but then they found none, yet the government still sent the troops over there. So it's just an excuse.
Right.
We have to keep the oil trade going.
Exactly. And I want to remind everyone the famous quote from George W. Bush, former president, in 2003. It's 2014 right now. And it says, Admiral Kelly, Captain Card, officers and sailors of the USS Abraham Lincoln, my fellow Americans, major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
When was that?
That was 2003.
I think they read the zero.
Yeah. And then all these people are coming out saying we need to go back and secure. It took 60 years to get South Korea the way it is now as a democratic country. It might take just as long. It's just as long to do the same thing in Iraq. And I just,
Leave the people alone. Don't
Yeah.
come over here.
Let
We won't
them
come over
figure
there.
it out. That's why they bombed. That's why 9/11 happened, because
We were over there in their
we
business.
were over there invading their space. So they were like, we're going to bomb everybody who's out here. And they did. They bombed every nation that was out there.
it's, yeah. Well, I'm
I'm over it.
over it too.
Stop spending my tax money over there.
Yeah, I mean, $3 trillion spent. What was that?
Keep our troops home.
And then the people who dropped the guns and ran and just left the stuff and spent all that money wasted with our guns that we trained them to use.
Mm-hmm.
And
now
then they would turn around and shoot some of our troops.
Friendly fire that just happened like last week. Yeah,
How the insurgents have the guns.
yeah. It's
That's
expensive.
brilliant.
You know what else is expensive?
What?
Tickets to go see Joel Osteen and his sermons when he's on tour with his wife. What do you think about that?
Somebody.
The 800 and something,
$850 for scalp tickets to attend a Joel Osteen.
because it's so expensive to spread the word of God.
To live that lavishing lifestyle that God has provided for you. Not.
It's just, it goes fundamentally, in my opinion, and as a former Christian, I'm going to make it clear because I'm not a Christian any longer, but as a former Christian, you know, I did the whole knocking on doors. I did the whole dancing with the kid groups
You were the
at
person I was
parks.
going to shoot every time you knocked on
Did
my
you speak
damn
in
door.
tongues
Yes,
I did that.
yes, I spoke in tongues
I
as
was
well.
very, very, very involved
As-
in church as a kid.
I can say that something like this is reminds me of exactly of the type of churches that I was in when I was a kid. They were mega churches, they were big, and they had these little inside groups that were going on that was completely politics. At Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, I recall how I had a friend who was a member of the staff, she was a secretary up there, and how she was telling me how everything was wired. In every room, every office in that building was wired because they were listening in to
Oh my God.
to their staff to make sure that no one was turning their backs or turning on them and stuff like that. And
Spying for the Lord.
Joe Osteen it's
Spying for the
completely
Lord.
crazy. Completely.
The price is ridiculous, number one.
Do they
Number
pay that
two,
much to go to one of the government things? The government, when they do when they're running for Congress and all that stuff, and they have those
Oh,
big ass
right.
parties, like when the president came in, they charge.
Oh yeah, like at the fundraising, a plate dinner,
But
fundraising
see,
plate dinner.
to me, that's what they're trying to pull off.
Right,
I don't know what they're fundraising for.
right.
The
for
Lord,
their pockets, because you know the Lord
The
needs
Lord
all
needs
this
money.
and
for them to look like they're rich.
Right. And then
Well,
makes
they're
no
gonna
sense.
they're gonna say they need to pay the electricity, the videographers, the
Well, many of
place
churches,
they're renting.
many of churches have the same thing, but they take their tithes and their offerings and pay their bills.
with that.
These people are getting paid to preach. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
None
Get a
whatsoever.
job.
Right. And then where do they live? They were like, he particularly, Joe Osteen does live in a mansion.
A mansion.
A mansion.
Is he married?
Yeah,
How
his
many
wife.
kids?
And his wife, mind you, was accused of shoving a flight attendant on a plane who wouldn't move out of her way.
Very holy.
Yes.
Very church-like.
Yes.
Don't be in the highway, the bitch will push it. And that means in the church.
I know. So,
It's crazy.
so anything else going on this weekend? You were talking about a friend of yours that you were explaining to another friend about who was a little confused about transsexuals or
Transsexuals, drag queens, and anything that has to do with like
alternative lifestyles.
yes.
Isn't
So
it a grown-up?
no, it's a kid, my son's friend, and I know I'm not supposed to mention him.
Ooh, sorry.
Sorry,
We
Joaquin.
just said the kid.
Just kidding.
Now she said your name. I didn't.
Hashtag, no, hashtag. Here you go.
What's his
Hashtag
name?
Joaquin.
Well, I don't think he's ever been around the LGBT community or anybody.
Well, you really don't have to be around it. It's all on television.
It is.
And it was on television in the 80s.
It is.
That's what's
it
weird.
was.
Because what was that? The two people who had to get an apartment. They dressed up in drag as women.
Bosom buddies.
Yes. So it started way back then in the 80s.
Oh, in the
So-
70s was Soap, Billy Crystal,
Oh, there you
Jody.
go. So I don't see where the problem is coming in because it is on television more now. I mean, they're even saying bitch and ass on normal television now.
Yeah, and yet these kids that it has to come from home.
Right.
I mean, that's
But in the case of this, you're telling you kind of become his first experience into explaining what this is and what it means. Because I mean, admittedly, if he's someone who's, let's say, possibly in high school and maybe just about to go to college, would probably have a very limited experience with anyone outside his
Well,
group of
that's
friends.
the hard part about it is because I remember when I first joined the military, I only knew of Asian people, black people, and white people. And when I saw a Mexican, I said, that's a funny looking Asian.
We do have our little.
And it was so funny because they're like this, no, he's Mexican. I was like, what is a Mexican? Because I didn't learn that. I didn't know that. It wasn't all that stuff on television yet. So I find it very difficult and hard to hear when the parents aren't even teaching their kids what they're going to experience, because I freaked out when I saw my first hooker when I joined the Navy. I took a bus downtown San Diego, and a hooker comes up to me and said, hey, sexy, what do you want? I said, I don't want anything. I'm just going to the store to buy me some new clothes. And she says, I'll suck it. And I was like, what? First experience like that. $50. Called my mother crying on the phone because I didn't know what the hell this woman wanted from me. She said, that's a hooker. Get away. I said, what the hell is a hooker? $50.
For a blowjob?
Yeah.
When was this?
Don't ask my age.
So I know what the price of inflation.
It was in the 80s.
$50 in the 80s? Oh my God, for a blowjob?
that's a lot.
That sounds like a lot. Isn't it the same price now?
No,
Oh, well.
I know.
Yeah, how do you know?
I know. I have friends. I'm not no hooker. I don't need that. I got retirement pay. I'm good. And I work at Lips Restaurant. I'm good.
At Bitchy Bingo, no less.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's. I just think that back to that point that it's pretty exciting that he's coming to you at least, or
Well,
you have the opportunity to expose him to.
Yeah.
What's the hard part of that is if the parents accept that.
Well, they're gonna have to. He's
But
in
you're
my
telling
house.
him something, and then they might not agree to that, so it might cause a rift between him and his best friend,
Yes.
your son.
No,
But
they're
she's a
friends.
responsible adult,
I'm not sure
so-
if they're best
Well,
friends.
friends or not, if he goes back and tells his mother something that you told him, I would go to her and say, if I tell him this, are you going to be pissed off? Because then I wouldn't have him at my house, because he'll see stuff and learn stuff that he's not supposed to learn or see.
But she met myself and my wife, and so.
So she knows about you and.
She knows.
Elmi.
Yeah. She knows.
But parents
and
are funny
so,
nowadays. It's a
They are.
different, It's a different
They are.
hood now.
But
you can't
but
say sidewalk.
but
wrong
at the same
way.
time, she shouldn't refrain from being honest at least.
True. That means he wouldn't be in my house.
I mean, he asked the question.
I would answer the question after I talk to his parents, because they can say something and have you in trouble.
I wouldn't, but I get what you're saying. But
Well,
I
I
wouldn't.
don't want to make it a big deal and be like, look, I explained to your child all the differences because he was unsure. He made this comment, so just to let you know, and then make it seem like it was like he was wrong for asking, you know. And I
Right.
don't want to make him. I just
Right,
want
I understand that, but
go on.
I wouldn't answer any questions. Let me get back to you on that, because I have to talk to your parents first. Because that was what I did when everybody started asking my son about this. I said, don't tell them anything, so I talked to their parents.
Okay.
And he's 16.
I think he's old enough. I
He's
think
old
you're
enough
okay.
to know. I think he's old enough to know.
I think
also.
as long as you can own it, in case the parents don't like it, but you can own what you did, what you're saying, and what you're doing.
Have you met?
I know, I met you.
Yeah.
No, you don't. And I
No.
only
But you know who
from-
does care? Producer Ray, because he wants us to go on a quick break. So we're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Poof.
Woo!
I made it.
Magic.
Wow. I'm all. Hi, Dustin. Oh, no, we got to do the same. Ready? Hello.
Not today. Do I need to bring him out the
You need to send that to hashtag marriage march. Hashtag marriage march. Okay, so JoeMyGod apparently is has put out a big blast about the National Organization for Marriage, the folks who ran the successful Prop 8 campaign against same-sex marriage in California, and also participated or tried to overturn the marriage, same-sex marriage in Maine, but lost. Is now having his second annual March for Marriage in Washington, D.C. this Wednesday on June the 19th. And he's asking his followers, or they are asking their followers, to send pictures of the marriage rally that they're at, anti-gay marriage rally, using the hashtag Marriage March. And JoeMyGod, a really well-known LGBT columnist online, wants us to send our own pictures of happy same-sex marriage couples kissing, or
With
partners
the same
kissing with the same hashtag.
That's gonna
Hijack
be
the hashtag and
So that's going to be trending.
blow their shit
That'll be a
up.
trending
Yeah.
hashtag for sure.
so I can't wait to see what
I'm sending my picture.
I like. What kind of picture would
All
you send?
5 of my husbands.
Ooh, all right. Utah Marriage March. How that would work? I don't know. I kind of like that idea that we're going to take something that, people are going to be searching, and that's probably going to be trending throughout the day. We did that. We've seen these hijackings of hashtags in the last month. I don't know if y'all heard about the one in New York where the police department wanted to, they put out a hashtag for their police departments, like New York Police, to show how great the community, they were with the community. And instead they got hijacked by a whole bunch of people, showing pictures of police brutality and being beaten and making racist comments. And they basically stole the hashtag in that manner.
Did you see the video online?
Which one?
The police beating up that lesbian?
At the
I think, I can't
Pittsburgh?
remember. Yeah, I think it was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Pride? Pittsburgh. What's going
I
on?
think so. I mean, he straight up grabbed her and punched her like twice in the stomach as he was
Were there charges
choking her.
pressed on them?
Well, I have
No, at this point the charges are pressed on her
For what?
for resisting arrest.
Well, there's no need to punch anyone.
But according to the witnesses that the statements taken by witnesses at the scene, said that she did nothing. The only thing she did was she took a step too close towards the protesters, the Westboro style protesters.
Like the ones we have.
Right. And so the police came from behind, grabbed her from her hair, pulled her back, and that's when he did what he did. And so at this point, the charges are on her.
I don't understand that one bit.
But I believe, with stuff like this goes, when it's got more internet action and, visibility, that's probably going to be reversed. What do you think? I mean, what do you think?
2 steps
Do you think that could
forward.
happen here?
2 steps forward, 5 back. This makes no sense.
I, as a young, rebellious teenager,
You?
Were we all? Weren't we all?
Okay.
I was at a quinceañera,
Mm-hmm.
and then I left because I got bored, but my brother wanted to stay. So, okay, I'll pick you up. 11 o'clock came. No, it was 10. 10 o'clock came along, and I went to go pick him up, and I heard the shots. Police got there, like 2 seconds before the shots went off. And my instinct was to run inside and go make sure my brother was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the police wouldn't let me in, and okay, but I was panicking.
Mm-hmm.
And this was around the same time that police officer was arrested for kidnapping and raping young girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got arrested. He grabbed me by my hair, slammed my face onto the car, and zip tied my hands and my legs, my feet. So and threw me, like literally. I was so small. I was tiny. I was like
You're
100
any
pounds.
bigger now.
Has it ever happened to you, Dustin?
Has it ever happened to me?
Yeah.
No.
The reason I ask, you are more of a lighter Hispanic person
Well,
than most.
Okay. My dad's a retired CHP sergeant. So
okay.
I've grown up knowing police officers my entire life. So whenever I see stories like this about like police officer abuse and everything like that, every single time, no matter what the case is, whether it be it's a straight person, a white person, a black person, a gay person, anything, the video only shows what happened at the end. You don't know what happened right before that. You don't know when the interaction started. You just see the video of where the cop took it too far.
Right.
And what always blows my mind about this is these people go into this job and put their lives in danger every day they go to work to try to protect other people. That's why they go into the job. They don't go into the job to be an asshole. Obviously the job does change people, and some people more than others. And I will say, yes, there are certain police officers who do go too far and who can be bad people, but at the same time, the ratio of, like, let's say a bad person for a police officer compared to a bad person to a normal person, like, I know way more terrible people who are not cops than who are cops.
Right.
Who, if we're put in that position, they would just like kick the shit out of people and fight people and do all that stuff.
Right, but they're trained. That's their job. They're
They are.
trained not to lose it like that.
100%. They go through all this training and everything, but at the same time, like, I don't know what happened, obviously, in your setting when you were there, but like, if someone potentially shot at a cop and they didn't know anything other than like shots were fired, and then a different cop just sees you sprinting, they might think that it was someone who was related to you.
Oh no,
So
I
that's
explained to him, my little brother is in there, I need
Yeah.
to go, can you go get him? And he wouldn't. And he was so rude, and he was just mean.
And like,
to
but
me,
at the
not
same
wrong,
time, like,
whatever.
they're not gonna be in like a setting like that when like someone's being shot at or something. They're not going to be in the best mood. Obviously, obviously, I'm not saying it's correct what they did or anything like
Panic
that.
mode.
But when they're in panic mode, they do make bad decisions sometimes. And I'm not saying what was done to that person in Chicago or anything was correct, but at the same time, like, witnesses, which means her friends who were with her, are obviously going to say that all she did was take a step. But at the same time, like, I work in the club where someone runs outside and tries to punch 5 people, and the cops end up arresting him, and all the friends are like, no, like, she didn't do anything. Like, those are all witnesses saying that no one did anything. It's like, well, you did. Like, and so we weren't there, obviously. If there was a videotape that showed the whole situation, then you might be able to read more into it. But personally, all I can go off of is what ends up coming out.
So what you're saying is you'd want to wait. You would rather wait and see rather than and convict immediately. You want the whole story. You need more of this to come out.
that's
This
what-
hasn't
that's
been
With any
investigated.
issue, you need the whole story.
That's the way that our country's legal system is built on.
Right.
You need the whole truth. Like, it's innocent until proven guilty
Right.
on both sides.
I get that.
So
That's the
even
theory.
though like, yes, she's the one who has charges against her,
That is a theory.
she's still technically innocent until like a trial happened or anything like that. But at the same time, people who just assume she's innocent assume the cop's guilty. They're not giving that the same benefit of the doubt back the other way. But
I just think he took it too far. It was
True.
just
There's,
too far.
I think a lot
He's
of times
trained.
they do.
Have that
And
happened to you?
I'm sorry. It's what happens is that one bad person can make 100 people look bad.
it's true.
And that's the sad thing about the world.
It's
is
true.
because one bad person can sour a basket of
Yeah.
grapes.
But we don't know what she did ahead of time. Obviously, no matter
Sure.
what, it was a female. Did you need to punch her or anything like that? Probably not. And it did go too far in the end. But at the same time, leading up to it, I highly doubt she took one step the wrong way for anyone to ever react that way. It was more likely if it was going towards the people, she was probably screaming something at them or something like that.
She was screaming. She
Yeah.
was screaming. She was
Well,
screaming. That was in there too. Yeah,
At
she
the
was
cops
screaming.
or whatever. But
No, she was screaming at the protesters. That she was. It sounded the way I read it that I could see how something like that might be perceived as threatening, possibly, especially if they're out of control and they're really angry and upset. But it's no different, in my opinion, than what happened with that lady in the slushie that we talked about a couple weeks back.
yeah,
You know,
there's
assault
tons
is assault.
There's so many different terrible people in the world.
Right.
And like that's why like when it comes to like a cop story or something like that, I feel like so many of them are doing the right thing and protecting us all the time. Like when it comes to like, especially when it comes to gay pride, there's so many police officers out here protecting everyone, making sure everyone has a good time and everything like that. And something happened at one Pride festival, and I'm not saying anyone up here is going to say that, but there are going to be people who are like, God, cops hate gay people.
Right.
It's like, no,
Some people
that's
say that,
not,
yeah.
that is not what happened. That
That's
was a
not true,
single
though.
incident. Yeah.
And you have any
That's not-
experiences like that at all, Kiki?
I have a lot of experiences like that.
Really? Wow. I mean, I.
My only experience is going to work. Leaving work one night, I was managing, and I was going to my car, which we have to park on the street, so the parking lot is empty for customers. A cop shoots up on the sidewalk and literally pulls out his gun and says, "Where are you going?" I said, "To my car." "Why?" He says, "Are you working?" I said, "No, I just closed the restaurant. I'm off of work." I said, "Hookers don't have cars." Bleep, bleep. Get the fuck away from me. And he was embarrassed as hell. He thought I was a hooker.
Oh.
You can't assume everybody walking down on El Cajon Boulevard in black is a hooker.
Well.
And I left a coffee shop on 30th Avenue. So I'm gonna carry my computer on my side. Cop comes shooting up at me again, and he's like, "Where you going, ma'am?" I said, "To my car." "What are you carrying?" "My computer. I was at the coffee shop." Hookers don't have cars. Click, click. I love that saying.
It
Hookers
never
don't
happens
have
to me.
Cars, hookers don't have cars. They get rides.
You know, I have a lot of respect for police officers. I have a
Me
cousin
too.
who is a police officer, and he does a lot for the community. But there are some that are just, I mean, just like anywhere.
Yeah.
No, there-
Anywhere,
Any
in
job
any
you get,
group,
there's gonna be an
any-
asshole
There are
somewhere.
definitely still bad eggs out there, and I
Right.
won't like, even though like I will advocate on the side that most of them are not, but there's still definitely bad ones out there who do things like you said, like one who rape people and stuff like stuff like that does happen at times. But I just feel like there are people who just like anytime those stories come out, they're like, see,
Yeah.
every cop is like trying to do it. It's like, no, that night there was like 2 million other cops out there doing their job protecting everyone else. Like you're saying, like, because one person did something wrong, that's like saying every time anyone did something wrong, you're gonna be like, oh, that'd be like, say, like at Gay Pride or something like that, there was a fight between like 2 gay people or something like that. 2 gay
Right.
guys got in a fight, and be like, oh, every gay guy in the world hates each other, they're all trying to fight each other. It's like, no, like that's
Yeah, fighting for the same
I mean,
thing.
isolated
That's
incident.
what
I
they do.
personally
They
have
fight
had
for
my
the-
own interactions with the police here and there, and as a kid, there was a couple of times that did happen, but I realized at the time they were happening that I didn't take offense to it because, you know, what is a 16-year-old kid doing walking around at 10 p.m. Down the
You didn't have
street?
curfew?
Like that. Curfew in San Antonio was 11, but we would sneak out and go walk around because it was summertime, we had nothing else to do. So I never took offense to it because to me, even as a child, I knew that, you know, that's what police were supposed to do. But I also, and I'm not saying that anyone did not do this. I'm not saying that anyone that posted these things don't do this, but it's been my own personal experience. I have never had a really bad experience with a cop because I was always respectful. And I'm not saying that these people were not, and I don't want people to get all upset and say, you know, you're saying that they didn't do that. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying in my own personal experience, I remained respectful. I was not in a situation where someone was getting hurt inside a building and stuff like that because I probably would have run on my own to do it also.
Yeah.
And I could see that would have been something to work out later, yes. But I think for a lot, not all, but for a lot of these things, some people aren't respectful, and police are human beings, and they will make the same mistakes that all human beings will make from time to time.
He's
And
fighting again.
Yeah. And at the same time, like, it's definitely, like, I mean, for me, again, like, I've never had a bad incident, but I also go in, like, very respectful. The only time I've ever had anything where I felt disrespected or anything like that by police officers was when I lived in New Mexico, but that's because, like,
You are white.
those cops didn't have anything to do there.
You're white.
Yeah. But,
you hear a lot about New Mexican cops.
but other than that, like,
You should
I've
have
always
told them you
had,
were Spanish.
Blanco.
yeah, I've
Blanco's
always had,
Mexican.
like, good
Blanco's
interactions and
Mexican.
everything like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, that's really good. We're actually going on coast tonight. I mean, we're coasting really well with our segments tonight, so we're going to finish this one and take a quick break and come right back, finish this up. There's a fucking fly, and it's
Fruit
just
fly.
getting a fruit
I'm
fly.
gonna get the medicine next week.
She's off tonight.
Oh.
Our fruit fly.
Courtney.
Oh. We have a replacement one.
She got a broken arm.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Black man beating her. Oh shit.
Yeah, she has a. That's not really what happened, but
She's gonna kick my ass now.
but no, she like. Well, the only post I saw was her in a sling and said, "Don't run in the halls." So I hope. I'm sorry, Courtney, but I really hope you ran in the halls
Chasing
and
some
and
kid.
slipped and fell.
You did. I
Because
don't
that's
hope.
really funny to me.
I didn't hope
Like,
that.
I'm sorry. Like, I mean, it's too late. Like, for me to wish for you not to have broken your arm because you already did. But if that's like the
We
scenario
have to
that
call
happened,
Courtney. We
then
have
that's
to call
kinda funny.
Oh my
Courtney
God.
after the show.
Well, speaking about being mean, oof,
Oh, almost.
Paris.
Oh.
What's going on with your friend Paris? You put
Oh,
this
goodness.
status update about Paris in. Fill us in. What's going on? Because this sounds like some bullshit.
Paris is having had a Sunday fun day. We all go out and hang out. We're out late and we're all in drag. We have a hard day Saturday. Sunday morning I have brunch. all of us want to release, we go out for brunch. We always go bounce from club to club to club. We come here, boom, boom, boom. But then some gay guy comes up and says, you drag queen should not be out this late. The sun's getting ready to come up. Please.
And
Again, I say, I'm tired of segregation against our own damn community.
so basically, he wasn't saying like Lestat or something like vampire stuff. He was basically doesn't
Drag queen should not be out late at night.
in day hours.
Day hours, sunlight, no, we should not be out. We're like vampires.
And it's funny because I hear that often coming up in our community where, and this comes up in our trans discussions where some say that they get the most discrimination from within our own community. But you're saying with this individual that they just think
They said it directly to her.
But are they saying because they feel that
I
she's
don't know
misrepresenting us?
I can't feel, I say what they're feeling.
Uh-huh.
I just find it hard to believe that we hate each other in our own damn community. It makes me sick to my damn stomach.
So he was saying that you guys shouldn't be out during the day, or it was too late at night?
Either or, it doesn't make a damn difference.
I was just wondering, like...
I don't know what he meant by it.
Oh, okay.
I just, when I read, I'll show it to you after we're done.
Either way,
Whatever you say,
stupid.
it's unnecessary. If you don't like drag queens, you want to be around us, don't go out.
Yeah, it's
Go downtown.
That's what
'Cause
I
we're
don't
everywhere.
understand. Why the discrimination? Why I mean.
But if you realize, drag queens were the ones that brought all of the gay people into
Yeah.
recognition and start fighting for our rights.
Yeah.
So you idiots,
yeah.
get your history right.
If you don't like drag queens, I don't understand it. Drag queens are the most fun people I've ever met, if I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Yeah.
they're,
But
like
drag
that's who you're
queen-
gonna have like you're gonna have the best time with. It's
Open, honest.
Yeah.
Don't have to lie about shit.
And
We'll
loving
tell you you're
and
ugly.
sassy and
We'll
it's
tell you you're ugly.
fantastic.
You're ugly. We'll fix your clothes for you too.
Yeah.
Fix my
Yeah.
nose.
If you ever rip anything, the drag queen's the ones who know sew it up.
Anything. Anyone to do that.
I just that's really fucking stupid. I don't understand. I don't understand it myself in my own head because
And we talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I told you about it. Now it's happening to my younger friends, which makes it very difficult to deal with because hearing it and getting an example to it and feeling it is way harder than just me telling you.
So to take this back to when you were before you became Kiki and you were in the Navy and stuff. At that moment, you also said previously that you despised people
Drag
who were
queens.
drag queens and stuff
I
yourself.
didn't go out and hang out with them. I didn't go to places they were at.
So when you were saying that, you were self-identifying as straight at that time when you were against drag queens, or did you identify
was
already?
gay.
You already knew you were gay. So
I
you were
was-
the
I
same
was-
person.
Right, I was the same person. But the fact of the reason why I hated something is because I liked it so damn much.
But at the same time, you never put yourself in the situation where you would go talk bad.
I never said it to them.
Yeah.
I never
Right.
expressed that to them. I still spoke to them. I hugged them. I went to their
Yeah.
shows. I tipped them during their shows. I respected everyone because I know how much black people went through our lives. So I wouldn't treat someone the same damn way in their face. I might go home and talk shit in my pillow,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to say anything and disrespect them in their face
Well,
because
that's like-
that's very hurtful.
Your
Yeah.
face is in the pillow.
That's like what I've said. Like
My face.
everyone has the right to their own opinion, whether it's correct or incorrect.
Right.
But there's no need to go say anything rude or hurtful to
To
someone
anyone.
ever. Like really, like unless
You can ruin someone's life like that, and
Unless
that's why I
it's
look
someone
at
who,
kids,
like-
kids
like
killing themselves
stunts you
now
or anything,
over
even, like-
crap like that.
Yeah.
So that's all it's all a hate.
And it's hate verbiage, you know. It's words. Words hurt. I mean, I'd rather get slapped because that sting is gonna go away soon. But a word is gonna
Listen,
stay in my
always in your
mind
head.
and-
Keep your
and-
reminding
and-
yourself of it.
Exactly, it's gonna make me feel and no, there's no reason why anyone should discriminate against anyone. Respect everyone's feelings, emotions, and just we're human beings.
The problem about it is, how can a gay person who is fighting for their rights dog someone out about theirs?
Right.
That's the hardest part to hear.
Right.
That is true.
I've
As much
also
as
heard.
we've been fighting for, we were the front runners for gay people in the 60s.
You know, I remember a story that Ophelia brought up that, you know, she once one time said she checked, one of the few times she says her feelings were actually hurt was when she was dating or on a date with someone and she was, I don't recall if she was actually Ophelia or if she was her other side, but the a gay person questioned her date on why
He was with somebody like
why
that.
he wasn't with a real man. And she said that stung. I mean, she, something like that stung in. And I was, what is it? Is it about your ego, to that person? Is it about your ego that you're not good enough yourself, that you feel that you're degraded because you can't win someone over a drag queen?
And along with that, I've been asked, how come I date butch women?
Instead of just dating a
Instead
wimpy
of
man?
instead of dating a man.
How come it has to be a butch woman?
I
Why
was
can't it
like-
just be a woman?
Well, because it's
Right,
like,
a butch
in their
woman,
head, it's like
because-
the same
yes,
as dating a man.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna date a woman, why not date a woman that looks and is feminine and looks like a woman? And
That's not what you want.
that's not what I want.
Then
But it
why
hurt
you
my
questioning
feelings that
people?
people would question that. Like, when I get her naked, she's still a woman. Come on now.
Okay, your kid watches this. Your kid watches this, right? Mine does too. But everyone yells at me. Like the same thing with black people. Why you dating that white guy? Why you with that white guy? Mainly because he got good credit. How
Well,
about that?
you know,
And that topic right there. Chop.
I honestly think people should date on that basis alone. I think if
Good
you're dating
credit.
with
On
someone,
credit?
Great
they
credit.
should, if you're
I
gonna
do a
date
credit
someone,
report. I check your credit.
but think about it. What the fuck is it if you have to go and pick up someone at their house because they don't have a car? You have to go and make sure they get to work. You have to make sure, and when they go to jail, you have to pay their bill.
I don't have to pay shit.
Wait, if they don't have credit, then they're probably going to go to jail at some point.
Leave them in jail. Then you're free to do what the fuck you
That-
want to.
So, no, I would think that should be a
I'm
standard.
just
Good
kidding.
credit.
I'm just kidding.
Good credit should be a standard if you're going
I'm
to date
just kidding
someone.
for all those people who I dumped.
No, but
Because everybody I dated had good credit.
I'm surprised at how hateful people still are when we have real
In our
enemies
own
that we still need to be united against, and yet here we are yelling at each other about using certain words, yelling at each other for being who we are instead of embracing what we are, wasting all this energy and time.
We need to embrace everyone's difference.
I mean, think about Rick Perry. Did you hear about what he said?
Oh yeah.
He said that homosexuality was like alcoholism. That there was a gene variant in there, and just because it's naturally occurring doesn't mean that it should be something that we should embrace or go on. And
Again, an idiot.
idiot. Well, here's the thing though. It's the first time, if you think about it, that someone like Rick Perry and the family association, whatever that Tony Perkins guy is, has said that this was something that was naturally occurring. It's the first time it said it. If you think about it in the way that they said it, we're all focused on how he said it.
Doesn't make a difference.
It makes a difference
If you don't
because-
know what the fuck you're saying, don't fucking say it.
But it makes them even more hypocritical if they're acknowledging that a person is born a certain way naturally. Why are they trying to change it then?
I just don't listen to it.
I think it's like changing your sexuality is like trying to change your skin color.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible.
Look what it did to Michael
It
Jackson.
was like Michael Jackson did it.
And look what it did to him.
Supposedly he had that skin pigmentation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it'll be 4 years tomorrow?
Why are you going to bring up the dead? She's not here.
You and
What is her
I
name?
know. Michael? Oh. Who? What?
No, the girl who buries people who embalms them.
Oh, Gabe?
I don't want to talk about him. No dead people today, please.
So I just thought the Rick Perry thing was incredibly weird. It was really.
Everybody
I'm not
backstepping-
offended, but
backstepping to get votes.
but is it really getting votes when people are really
Backstepping. He thought he was being slick.
and everyone's just calling him out on it
Because
it's
he thought he was being slick. His people didn't get him right.
And
They probably
he's
told him no.
sticking to it.
He's sticking to it for one reason. He'll get votes.
From ignorant
Some.
people.
Right, exactly.
From people that, the Republicans
That's what they do.
hate gays, they hate Mexicans.
That's why the Republicans got
They
beat out of
hate-
that one little election that shouldn't have happened, where the Tea Party man beat the Republican. Boom, shakalaka boom. Shit's gonna change, bitches. Yes.
well, I guess we'll see. We can be hopeful. At this point, I don't care if everyone is fucking thrown out and everyone just starts from scratch.
Have
Just-
you ever seen the on that channel where they show like the parliament and they're discussing politics in the parliament where they, they wear the wigs and stuff.
In England?
In England.
Yes, I see that.
They throw stuff at each other, and I've seen
They're
a
crazy.
few of them where they get down. They're like, "Come on!" And
I
they
just
fight.
can't believe they still wear
I
those.
want to see.
I just can't believe they
that
still
on
wear the.
C-SPAN.
Why they still wear the wigs? Come on, let it go. Let it go.
I know.
The only one I want to see get beat down is Ted Cruz, and that's it. Other than that,
Where's he live?
Texas.
Go. Yeah. We started out with Texas. We're gonna end with
Go
Texas.
Spurs, go. All right.
And don't forget the hashtag.
What's your hashtag name?
March. Oh shit.
Marriage March.
Marriage March.
Good memory.
Hashtag Marriage March.
That's
You
what
want
he
to
did for coming late. He remembers everything.
tongue your babe, get a picture of it, put it out there, show them how much love you have, and if you got kids, put them out there too with your family. Just put everything out there. Show them, what's going on in
Put
your.
everything on Instagram and hashtag.
Yeah, because
Because it get repeated.
we got to take over, hijack that son of a bitch, and eventually they're going to be gone. They're going to be ignored away because they won't matter anymore. So, Pride's around the corner.
Yep.
Pride is around the corner.
It's a month away.
You can tell because the gym yesterday was packed, and it always happens a month right before.
That's funny. Is what the hell? Why work out a month before? Bitch, you should have started years ago.
Unless you're close.
Well, these are,
It's not gonna happen.
but these are the people who are just now gaining some weight after the white party. So now it's time for them to go back and get
If
ready
they've
for
got
Pride.
like 5 pounds to
Yeah.
do before Pride.
Exactly.
Wait,
It's.
the big ones ain't gonna lose no weight.
But I gotta admit, there's a couple new hotties, so they're kind of fun to watch working out, doing their thing, having fun.
Then you're gonna hump the pillow.
You're the one with the face in the pillow, not me.
No,
That's what you said.
When I sleep with my face in my pillow,
Uh-huh.
and my pillows are brown, so everything blends
This
in.
pillow ran into Tammy Faye. That's
Blends in. That's why you get a dark pillowcase.
so Pride's around the corner, and the Brass Rail's gonna be. Are you gonna be open the whole?
Yeah, we'll be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. and
All day, or?
I'll be here all day, every day.
All day, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, we open at 1. We open from then on. All of our events are going to be posted on our website, which is thebrassrailsd.com.
Good way to go segue into
Right?
that one. I love that.
And then you can see episodes of this show and He Said, She Said at hsss.tv.
Oh my God! I'm glad you
Boom,
did that.
shakalaka, boom, 'cause he couldn't
One
get it.
thing I did want to say, though, I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier, I did want to say that San Diego obviously lost someone today.
Yes.
Who's very important to the city, and Tony Gwynn. I've been born and raised in San Diego, watched him since I was a little kid. Definitely my sports hero growing up and everything. He did a lot for this city.
Yes.
So it's really sad to see him go. But so if you go to a Padre game soon, make sure you go out and see his statue out there and everything. And his son's still playing in the majors right now, and hopefully he's able to get through it and everything like that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tony Gwynn,
Yeah.
Battle with cancer.
What's going on
Mr.
with you?
Baseball.
Nothing. I recently did a show, an interview on Honor 41. So if you get a chance, check out Honor 41.
And Bitchy Bingo, anything coming up?
Wednesday, Ophelia and I, bitchy bingo. Last week I cussed that bitch out.
On stage?
Every week I cuss her
Oh.
out.
Oh, good.
need to
So
go.
she deserves it. That's all
And,
right.
and then she's like this. She's like, "Shut up, Kiki. Shut up. Shut up." Like,
And USA won today.
I'm like this. You foul white bitch.
USA, USA. All right.
I said, "You look like a Mexican on the run."
And we have one more episode left of They Said before we go on our summer break, and I get to go to New York. New York right after Lewiston.
I just started tuning up the jet ski.
Dustin?
What am I doing for summer? I'll be here until, but I'm going, I get to go see Manchester United play for the first time.
Yes.
They're going,
Oh.
after the World Cup, they're having a little U.S. tour, so I get to go see them play at the Rose Bowl on July 23rd against the LA Galaxy, which will be really fun. I haven't seen them, and I've been a fan for a really long time, so I'm
Who?
excited. Manchester United, the
I had
soccer
their
team. from
T-shirt
England.
with the. I know where the hell
Oh,
they're
yeah.
from.
I
Think
just-
about that. I have the soccer. I have a soccer shirt signed on my wall with all of the original.
Really?
When, what's his Ronaldo?
When Cristiano Ronaldo was
Yeah, when
there?
he was
Oh, that's awesome.
All those people that were on the team.
Yeah,
I have.
Yummy.
I have the T-shirt framed on my wall.
that's awesome.
Well, on that note, we thank you guys for joining us once again for They Said, and we will see you on our last week next week.
Strip tease.
Ciao.